Resident Evil, fuck it. That's what this movie should have been called.
I think it's actually called Resident Evil Exposition.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. This is one where it came in. It's like, look, we know that y'all don't come to these for the story because they're dumb. We admit it's dumb.
No,
so forget that.
Exactly.
You want action? We're going to give you nothing but action for nearly 2 hours.
My wife's ass is perfectly in frame. That's all.
As long as I get that one shot of Mila Jovovich wearing a napkin.
Paul W.S. Anderson, this is the one where he sat down at his computer, popped up the word processor, started typing, just said, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Really, I'm going to write this shit? This is not, say, directed and written by. I should say directed and a lot of shit just made up on the spot by Paul W.S. Anderson.
I just realized that, wow, I think we just discovered the white Tyler Perry. He keeps making these movies, and obviously there's an audience for them.
Exactly.
People keep going to them. They keep making money.
I'm kind of mad at you guys because I was told there was a Paul Anderson movie coming out this weekend, and I thought I was going to see Philip Seymour Hoffman in this.
You were able to see more. See more bullshit is what you saw. No, you're right. You were right about that, Carlos. You got Tyler Perry has black foolishness and drama, and Paul W.S. Anderson has explosives and bullets and slow motion.
And white foolishness.
I want to see the next movie. What they should have is Paul W.S. Anderson come out and versus Zack Snyder, because they are neck and neck with the slow-mo that they use. I'm telling you, it's just like with Zack Snyder. These are two directors that make 30, 40-minute films that with the slow-mo are stretched out to an hour and a half.
I love in this movie that they just pretty much ran out of ideas for slow-mo, where somebody was like, the director was like, you know what? We've never done slow-mo backwards. It's like an entire sequence that goes backwards.
That's why I'm calling the movie Resident Evil Exposition, because not only do we get the recap of previously on Resident Evil of the last 4 movies, we actually see an entire scene in reverse and then see it forward.
Yeah. But you know what? I have to admit though, I'm always thankful that they fucking remind me what happened in the last movie, because I can never fucking remember.
Does it matter though? Could you make sense out of it?
You know what? I needed that. I appreciate it, because I'm coming to this. I'm like, all right. I remember seeing the first one, and I was like, hey, I kind of like that better than I thought I would. And then the second one, I fell asleep halfway through it. So I didn't bother to see the next. How many came after that? 2, 3?
After that.
Yeah.
All right.
We on 5 right now.
All right, so I'm coming to this one, and I'm like, man, I'm lost.
We are on number 5. This is Resident Evil Retribution. And I don't even know what these titles mean.
Who's getting retributed?
Who's getting retributed in this? I don't know. They just
the next one's going to be renovation.
Resident Evil Renovation. Yeah.
The problem is if they called it Resident Fivel, it would have to be Resident Fivel Goes West, and then that wouldn't make any sense. So they just left it alone.
Exactly. Or you would get it confused with the actual video game Resident Evil 5.
Yes,
so they just changed the name.
Please just use the title The Return of the Revenge, please.
Yeah.
Somebody use that title.
Resident Evil, the prophecy. Resident Evil, the saga continues.
The regurgitation of the prophecy is the regurgitated prophecy.
But with this one, we do have the character of Alice returning, played by Mia. What's her name?
Mila Jovovich.
Jovovich. Okay, yeah.
It's a Russian word that means director's wife.
Yeah.
Wait, it's Russian for Kate Beckinsale?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She changed her name from Yo-Yo-Bitch also.
She might as well at this point.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she had to change her name.
That's what I wonder. Are the two franchises competing with each other?
They should.
They should, because both of them starting not to make any. I mean, seriously, people.
Only so they can make a versus movie at some point. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I would love that.
Oh, Resident Evil versus Underworld?
Yes.
Yeah, shit, why not?
It'll just be the two of them fighting over the same leather suit.
Or fighting over my husband's a better director than yours. No, both of them suck. God damn it. No, with this one, you have Alice returning, who's been in all the movies, and this has really, besides characters, has nothing to do with the games, really. But in this, you have, don't ask me a goddamn thing about this plot, because it doesn't.
Come on, man. They stopped to explain it to you.
It doesn't. Explain what?
I'm sorry. No. You're right. They explain the last 4. You wait till the next Resident Evil, and then they'll explain what happened.
Okay, I can explain it to you. Let's see. We got pretty much actors just playing costume, dressing up like the characters in the game, and they are in some underground lair station, mad scientist lab in Russia, owned, of course, by the Umbrella Corporation. And the Red Queen from the first game is back.
From the first movie.
From the first, the same thing. Yeah. from the first movie is back. And outside of that, I don't know why Alice gets together with with these other game characters, and she has to get to the surface to escape, to save mankind or something. And really all you have to do is say, how much of a fan of Resident Evil are you? Because if you're a huge fan, you might get a thrill out of seeing, oh, there's a guy dressed up like Leon Kennedy. Oh, there's a guy dressed up like Barry Burton.
The exact thrill you would have going to Comic-Con and seeing people dressed up as your favorite character.
I have to admit, this is the best version of Comic-Con you can ever get.
It's a cosplay dream, this movie.
Yeah, I love the games, so I'm not coming to this. I was mad at the first movie because, as I've always said, Brian. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome guest host Brian. By the way, Brian Salisbury, yeah, baby, guest reviewer.
That's that guy I am.
He reviews so beautifully. Don't you agree?
Don't you agree? No, but the first movie, I was upset because I was a huge fan of the game. I'm thinking, all right, the game. I've always said this. The game has a atmosphere of true creepiness and dread, where the movies are just techno dance videos with a bunch of slow-mo gun play and. Now,
they're action movies in a dance club.
At a dance club, yeah. They're the first 5 minutes of Blade, stretched out to a whole hour and a half. But now I don't even care that much anymore. I mean, I'm pretty much lobotomized when I go into these movies. But still, I mean, it gets to a point where I'm like, God damn, man. I could reenact this whole movie for you. I could sit up here and shoot a big slab of bloody meat in slow motion for an hour and a half, and you would have half of this movie right here.
I'm sorry, you'd have to do it in slow motion. You'd have to do a lot of kung fu and flips in the air. And I don't think you can do that.
And I don't think you look like a hot Mila Jovovich. I'm sorry.
I don't think Mila Jovovich, she's not a real character in the game, right? I mean, or the movie, whatever. She can't do that shit either.
What?
What did I just witness? Yeah.
Let me marry a guy who's a multi-million-dollar director of some bullshit, and I could do that shit too.
I didn't notice a mustache on Mila's face when she was doing those loop-de-loops.
I will say this: there are moments in here. I'll let you guys go ahead with your opinions of this, but I will say, being completely fair here, I think what this movie has that's probably better than the last movies. And have we all seen every Resident Evil movie?
Okay, not me.
Yeah. Okay, well, I do like Resident Evil. What is it? Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is 2. Third
no, third one's Extinction.
Okay, that's the one.
See how hard it is to keep this shit straight? This is why you need 2, 3, and 4 in the fucking name of the movie.
Simple numbers, man. Yeah. But I like that movie, and that one I like that because that one was more of a straightforward zombie movie with a sense of humor. Now, this one I like because there are actually some tense moments in here. The movie opens up where you can almost say it's a ripoff of the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, you could say that because it is a ripoff.
And then they have a really cool fight scene at the end that goes on and on for a while, but it goes on and on in a well choreographed, bone crunching way. I mean, you actually are wincing.
It took me back to the days of when this guy directed Mortal Kombat, where I was like, you know what? Wow, he's actually improved, and all these fighting sequences are pretty badass. I mean, you see they do the video game shit where they got the X-ray of the bones getting cracked, and you feel it. I don't know what he does, but he films it in such a way where it's intense. I mean, it really is. I have to give the guy fucking credit, as much as I don't want to.
You guys have watched a lot more of these movies than I do, so you know whether, like, to me this is something new where it's like, hey, the sound effect isn't that sound, that normal punch sound that's just like the tsh, or it sounded like somebody like folding a chair, but every punch was the sound of a breaking bone. I was like, you know what? This is actually very effective. I mean, more people should use that.
Yeah.
Well, I have to admit, I'm right there with you, Corey. I'm a huge fan of these video games, and when you're watching these movies, they throw in these characters from the video games that they really give you no backstory to. They just thrust them upon the audience, going, "Hey, if you played the video games, this is exclusively for you." Yeah. And as far as the rest of the audience, fuck you guys. You shouldn't even be into this. You've never even played these fucking games, so go fuck off. I mean, but the thing is, you recognize the characters, and you're like, man, it's cool. Yeah, the great cosplay. The costumes look amazing. In this movie, you get Leon, which is one of my favorite all time.
You have a crush on Leon.
I have a fucking man crush on Leon.
You do it all day. He's been talking about it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times co-hosts have said to me, Leon's in this movie. Leon's in this movie. I said, no, Leon's at home, man. No, Leon Kennedy, man. Leon, he's in the game. I mean, he's in the game. He wasn't
talking about me all that time.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, no love for you. No. He's been talking about Leon Kennedy, the guy. I'd have to say the guy that plays him him. What's the guy's name? I've never seen this.
I think he's Russian.
I think he's Sawyer from Lost.
I thought he was Samantha's boyfriend from Sex and the City.
No, Johan Erb.
But you know,
That he should be selling weed somewhere. but no, I have to say
they probably hired him because of the herbs in the video game. Now it all connects.
Oh yeah, I found green herb.
That's right.
He'll be playing Leon Kennedy in the movie.
You look just like him. But they throw in characters like Leon and Ada, and it's amazing when you're watching this movie, where you're like, man, you know what? I wish these two were more prominent. I mean, watching Ada kind of is right there, kind of front and center, along with Mila throughout this entire movie. To where every time you saw her, she was such a badass in this movie. I thought, wow, I wish I could see more of her. The only problem, though, is with these characters is that they filmed them like they're filming a video game. I mean,
she really looked like a video game character.
She looked like a video game. I mean, it's her look, the way she talks. Yeah. I was really amazed by these characters, how they were interacting with each other. Where I'm like, wow, you know what? This is the first movie where I can actually say the acting is right up to par with the video game.
You're absolutely right.
And not in a sense that it's good, but it's exactly like the video game.
Because she was completely devoid of emotion, and it sounded like someone off screen was supplying her voice. So
right.
Yes, it was exactly like watching a video game character.
After the first movie, I kind of gave up on these movies even trying to resemble the video game.
Sure.
So, it became its own entity. And I have to admit, it is one of those series that it does have a plot. And I only say that because me and Hai actually went through a marathon just so I can find out what is the actual plot of these fucking movies. There is a plot. As stupid as it is, there's a plot. But I have to say that it's kind of consistent. I was actually kind of having a lot of fun with this movie.
Well, Brian, what'd you think?
No, I mean, I agree that it's fun. The problem that I have with it is that it's exactly like playing a video game, to the point that they have clearly defined levels, like this is the Russia level, this is the New York level, this is the submarine level, and they show you a map. It's literally like reading one of those, NES guides from back in the day, like, oh, that's how I get from level 1 to level 2.
Yeah.
And then they literally have a cutaway scene of the Red Queen going, okay, here's what's going on right now. It's like, bitch, who are you talking to? What is going on?
Talking to you, dummy.
Like, if you just cut to the next scene, I can follow what's going on. You don't have to pull me out of it and go, okay, now we're going to this level.
By the way, don't you love how they don't explain anything in this movie, especially how these cities were built underground or in the ocean?
And they keep saying that it's a simulation, and yet the simulations are killing people.
Yeah. It's like wow, it's the only place where Rome can actually be built in a day.
Yeah, I wish PG-13 meant this level of violence, because that is the conflict here. These are movies that are overly violent and they get rated R, but they're on the level of a 13-year-old. And the 13-year-olds are the ones who would really appreciate this. I can appreciate it on some level. It's one thing to give us this kind of action with nothing. Right. But the acting in this is terrible. Why introduce... I mean, I would get excited about these characters being introduced if they had a personality, but none of them do. No. And by the way, if you are not a character in the video game, that's your ass. You are gone. And I like the way they played at one point in the movie that, like, Leon says, I didn't come this far to lose my friends. They're like, you didn't give a shit when they got killed. You just, somebody got chainsaw right in front of you.
Well,
like,
you definitely lost them.
Why aren't those guys wearing red fucking shirts?
Well,
really?
it is like, well, not only are they not characters in the game, but I ain't never seen them in nothing else before, so they're expendable. The thing is, for me, I'm kind of like, I never played any of the games. And I only seen the first movie.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, so
he's just now playing Max Payne 2. Seriously. I'm trying to get it installed.
We got Billy Part 2 over here.
The thing is, for me, I'm watching this and I'm like, I come out and I even tell Coles right away, I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. I mean, and it's not me going like, what am I supposed to feel like that? I'm like, I'm looking at you guys. Like, you tell me what my review should be. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to base it on. I mean, I will tell you this. As much as it is like what I consider a bad movie, I kept finding things to like about it. Like, I thought the opening sequence, I really dug that. The whole, like, how, they start and then back it up, and the way they pull it all back, and the whole spectacle of it. I was like, you know what? For something like this that I came out at midnight to see, they actually put a lot of work into it. I've seen a bunch of movies like this where they don't put that much work. It's like they really went all out. It's kind of weird in that 70s sci-fi way, and that's something they don't normally do. It's like there's actual work being put into it. Now, once it hits the middle, it's like it's just shooting so much that bullet fire just became white noise to me, because, like, okay, at this point, I don't care about the characters. These scenes aren't inventive. I kind of lost what's going on. But you come to that last action sequence at the end where I was like, you know what? God damn, it really stepped it up. It's like an old kung fu movie in the way it's set up. Taken in parts, I can like these parts. You want action, you don't like all the talking. We're giving
If you want to feel like you're playing the game, play the game.
But the thing but on some level, it's like, look, there's no movie that makes me feel like I'm playing a game from beginning to end. And this being based on a video game, I'm like, you know what? If you're going to be the one to do that, then all right, go for it.
So you're that guy that likes to watch cutscenes instead of playing.
Who doesn't? That's why they make them. Everybody does.
Everybody likes cutscenes.
But I have to admit, I mean, you're right. I've seen so many movies done like Doom. Doom's a great example.
Oh, yeah.
Where they really try to thrust you in there.
POV.
Yeah, the first person, and they fail miserably at it. Miserably.
What co-host is trying to say is that for the next one, instead of Real D glasses, they'll just hand out controllers.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
They're
why
trying
not?
to get people in the goddamn theater, right? They should. Hey, might I add though to this review that awesome action sequence that we saw. Our buddy over here, Brian, decided to skip town right when that was about to happen.
Why,
that
happens
Brian?
when you walk out.
Why?
It was made very clear to me that if I didn't get my ass down here on time, I wouldn't be on the review. So a submarine popped up. I figured, okay, this is pretty much done with. And apparently I missed the best goddamn fight scene.
You did. You did.
You really did.
did.
We're not just telling you that.
But keep in mind that went on for what, about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
So I missed the last one.
I'm sorry. No, it was 5 minutes. It was about 20 minutes in slow mo. no, you know, like I said, I'm trying to. There are a lot of things I want to meet this movie halfway on, but I was taking notes of some of the things that I could specifically say were bad here.
Oh God!
Because I was
that's a long list.
I'm just talking about downright terrible. I mean, there's a
That's
lot
like
of things
a college ruled notebook right there.
If I want to get into everything, that's a whole thesis on this. But I mean, if I wanted to get into some things that are just where I do feel like, because there's a lot of things that are bad good here. I mean, you watch this and you can say that, all right, look, this is terrible and there's no story, but they keep it going. The paces, they do not take a breath. At the beginning of the movie, the director said, and that was it. He held that shit until like the end. And said, "Oh shit, what y'all think?"
Well, you saw Mila throughout the whole movie. She's like,
she would run out. But no, it was just like I mentioned the acting. There were certain people who I thought were terrible. The girl that played Jill Valentine, Sienna Gilroy. When she's in this, if you played the games, she gets a mechanical bug stuck on her chest, and a tit bug. Yeah, she gets a third tit right there. There's a bug. Yeah, in the game she's evil. They bring that into the movie, and so she has to play evil Jill Valentine in the movie. And the actress, when she tries to play evil, she is horrible, horrible. And the guy who we just mentioned, the guy that plays Leon Kennedy, he's not terrible, but just flat. And not even really his fault. He's not given anything to do. He's say
really
a line
not.
and shoot a gun.
And he can't even speak English.
Well, maybe they dragged him over.
All I have to say about it is nobody puts Leon in the corner. That's all I got to say about
the same thing. Everybody's excited about this girl. I love this. Now, I'm just mentioning her because I just want to say her name. Bing Bing Lee. Ricochet.
Which
Bing
sounds
Bing
like
Bing.
the most racist thing you can call a Chinese person. Yet it's her actual name.
And that's her name.
Sheriff Bing Bing Bing.
It's where that utensils falling on the floor joke applies.
That's it, Leona.
Somebody get the door.
That's something.
You having a stroke?
Yeah, somebody like that. They introduce this character, and it's like, why introduce these characters if you're going to make these actors either act terribly or act with nothing at all there? And then they bring people back just because. Just because you knew them before and it's something to recognize, and we ain't got nothing fucking else to do. So
not only are they able to resurrect the dead, but they're also able to resurrect careers.
Yes,
this is true.
Michelle Rodriguez returns as Rain, and the guy that played Carlos Oliveira from the video games. I forgot the actor's name, but they bring these people back, and they just bring them back because it's just recognition. Hey, the audience loved them at one time. They tracked well, so hey, you know what? We clone people in this movie, so we can just bring them back.
It's amazing to me how much the director. During a lot of the interviews, the director has made a point to talk about how he's regretted killing off Michelle Rodriguez's character in the first movie. All the interviews about this movie have been about usually her coming back, and when you watch the movie, you realize, wow, you really didn't give her much to do. I mean, she's kind of just there as a face.
Hey, man, he
not
gave
really
her
much of a character.
He gave her so little to do. He made up for it by giving her 2 roles in this movie.
Yeah, I think he killed her off again twice in this fucking movie.
Yeah. He actually, she plays 2 roles in this movie. And
hey, you start bringing her back in the Fast and the Furious. You guys aren't complaining about that?
I can't believe that they gave somebody 2 dual roles and they still couldn't do shit with those. No. Like, damn, if you fucked up with one, you can do something with the other, and you failed to do do that.
That goes back to what Leon was saying about not really caring. It's because death means absolutely nothing in the Resident Evil franchise.
No.
If your ass dies, they will find a way to bring you back. And what I love about it is the Umbrella Corporation will bring Alice back, even though she's the one fucking up their entire organization. Oh, she's dead. We better bring. Why?
Yeah, why? I don't get it. But
Yeah.
you know, and I still don't get it.
I think in the next movie that will be revealed.
I think you're right.
And as far as death meaning nothing, well, it's kind of like in a video game. It's like, oh, I died. All right, well, let's go back to my load.
There you
go back to the last game and start all over again.
I will
let
say,
me try something
Resident
stupid.
Evil respawn.
Yeah. Now I will say somebody that I think is in there and just acting their ass off with absolutely nothing, but actually brings something to it is Sean Roberts, the guy that plays Wesker.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
'cause
That guy's having so much fucking fun.
That fool is
That guy's terrible.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is, he seems to be. At least he has a personality.
He does.
He's no. See, that's my point. That's
He's
my
got,
point.
he's got Max Headroom's personality.
Yeah,
He does.
I guess my point is, he's bad and he's still acting circles around everybody else, and that fool is in a mind and not even moving his neck.
Yeah.
And he's still.
He has that Batman thing where he can't. He's not even. He's not even wearing a cowboy
Right,
cape.
he is Max Headroom.
That's because he's worked out so much that his neck and his head are like the two sizes too big for his body. 'Cause I kept looking at him, I was like, wait, is that Tony Little from those infomercials? He used to sell juice.
Oh shit, it's Bane.
There's nothing I love more than a villain who really loves being a fucking bad guy, who just loves smiling at the camera and going, yes, I'm back. I've done it again. Oh,
Buy
nice
some
to meet ya.
coke.
Look at me.
You know, and
Fucking up your world.
And I hated to hear that they not only wasted a character that I like in the game, but they wasted an actor playing that character, like Kevin Durant, who plays. I just said his
Does
name.
he play for the Oklahoma Thunder?
Yeah. What if you haven't, you've seen the guy? He's fucking huge.
Yeah, he's in Lost. They keep bringing people from Lost in this.
He's Barry Burton.
yeah.
And he's that guy. I love that guy.
That guy's he's got a very unusual look. You spot him right off, and you like him. You're like, hey, maybe things will work out for him in this. No.
But you know, I mean, if I can say anything about at least this movie right here is that it is a major improvement from the last one. This one felt like, you know what? When I go see a midnight movie, this is kind of what I want to see in a way, you know, especially with something dealing with this genre. It's a horror, sci-fi, action, whatever. You know, who gives a fuck? Let's just grab some beers, watch this stupid movie, and have a bunch of stupid, mindless fun. Even watching these actors do their cosplay and just kind of like sleepwalk through the roles.
Co-host.
They kept me awake.
Co-host, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm just going to tell you this. Come here, because I don't want these other guys to hear this. But you know, when Leon came on, I did geek out a little bit. I was like, oh, he's wearing the jacket from Resident Evil 4. He's wearing the black T-shirt.
When you saw Ada walk up with that red dress
Oh, I like
and
it.
a little
It's the
little
red-
necktie thing.
By the way, I just got to say this. For this to be the apocalypse, these people sure are clean and dressed real nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta look good during the
Ada
apocalypse.
Wong is like, you know, if we get through this apocalypse, I got a cocktail party I got to attend. You know, I want to be dressed for this. The guy that plays Luther West, Boris Kujububu, whatever his name is.
Cujo.
That dude found somewhere in the middle of all the rubble in the city, he found a whole vault of Gillette razors so that he could trim his beard. You know, every day. You know, these people, they are not the regular apocalypse survival people. You know, they come out with all smudged up and they got big caveman beards. No, they are some of the cleanest, nicest, most beautiful Holocaust survivors ever.
Especially Leon. He's still got that nice, clean cut, whatever.
Are you gonna marry this guy?
That haircut, that haircut from the 90s. I mean,
I'm giving him a blow-up doll with Leon's face on it for his birthday.
Leon S. Kennedy is my
I'm
hero.
going to give you a mannequin with a Leon wig on it.
Just get a Bon Jovi doll and visit an army surplus store.
But I need to show you the Leon poster over my bed.
That's resident creepy, man.
You know, I don't like this movie. I don't, but I'm again being fair. I'm giving credit where credit is due. There are pockets, small pockets of scenes whether they be suspenseful or the action is just kick-ass or the special effect is cool. I mean, there are moments in there where I did tip my hat off and I say, good for you, sir. And then there are other moments where I'm just like, God damn, man. This guy, this director, Paul W.S. Anderson, when he says, I love these games, he only loves about 3 or 4 things about these games because he keeps repeating them. He loves those giant brain exposed lickers from the games because you see him in every fucking movie. He loves the dogs, even though dogs took a vacation in this movie. He sent them to the kennel. You know.
Yeah, this is the first time. Yeah,
you didn't see the dogs in this, but he didn't have the dogs because he not only got one Axeman in this movie, but now he's got two because he loves him so much. Which I have to say, the Axeman, which I hated in the last movie because it just came out of nowhere. Well, it came out of nowhere here too, but it lent itself to a pretty cool action scene. I'm giving this a very, very high, about as low as you can go rental for this. You know, I'm talking about, you know, what's that shit they play? Well, I'm talking about a limbo thing where you gotta, you know, you as low, how low can you go? You know,
the bar accidentally drops.
The bar actually drops on the bar is touching the grass, and somehow Resident Evil managed to like still squeak by under there. That's the kind of rental that this is getting from me.
I'm going to defer to co-host right now.
No, I'll go to
No. You got to learn to stand on your own.
That's
man.
right.
You don't understand. I don't have the history with these things.
You don't
guys
have
Well, you
to.
don't need to. That's what people want to hear, though.
What is your impression of the movie? What did you walk out with? Don't ask us.
Boom, boom, bah, boom. Oh, no, that was my impression. Bone snap, bone snap. Her ass.
My impression, coming from somebody who just doesn't think that I ever see a video game that has a great story or great acting in it outside of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, to me, I was like, you know what? This is very, very much a video game movie. And it's the first time I'm saying that in not a derogatory way.
You've just pissed off a whole
I
group of
don't
video
give a
game
shit.
people out there. Like, dude, that's the only game that you know that has a great story?
Yeah.
You've never.
What's another one with a great story?
Oh, you've never played Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
Or Yoshi's Island.
Oh yeah, or Mario Brothers. I mean,
wait.
or
I made up that last one.
I did
Or
really
Galaga?
Space Invaders of Earth is under attack. Come on.
Full Throttle. That had a great story.
Okay.
Pole position was pretty riveting.
But for these like kind of action zombie shoot 'em ups, I've never seen one of those where I seen the cutscenes. I was like, wow, great action. Great, that's some great acting or great dialogue there. I was just like, okay, it's creating some atmosphere to get me on to the next action sequence. And for this, I was like, you know what? This had much more work put into it than I ever expected. I expected to be bored or just be like, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Story-wise, like, as far as like, if you want to call it a bad movie, yeah. It is. I mean, story, you could pick this apart all day long, but I give it props on having, being inventive in the beginning and having the action sequence that woke me up and made me go like, wow, this is actually kind of cool.
Your reviews in slow motion now. Come on, man. When you get this movie.
Oh. Co-host, help me out. What do I give this movie?
Don't you tell him. Don't you tell him.
Co-host, tell me.
You got
He's
to
calling
stand
out for player 2. He's calling out.
Oh, let me go put on my Leon costume.
You got to stand on your own, my man.
Okay. Just want a lifeline.
No one can help you.
You know what? I don't know. Like, seen it like in IMAX and 3D where they do a lot with the 3D. There's some cool stuff. Ooh.
Be a man.
Exactly.
I'm going to give it a low matinee.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, yeah, don't worry.
Don't look at what you looking at me for. You act like I'm on Snap or something.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those two Axemen are going to come out and get you.
Think I'm gonna come out with an axe.
Liquor's going to come out and lick your neck. You shouldn't have done it. I have to admit, I was really worried.
Like how many times you've admitted tonight.
I will admit.
It's a confessional.
I know.
admit
Yeah,
to
it's a
it.
confession. I confess.
I will do it.
I will admit it.
Don't make me do it. I'm surprised how much I actually enjoyed this. You know what? This is the first Midnight Madness movie in a long time where I actually had a good time hanging out with you guys, laughing and shit, laughing at all the dumb shit going on the screen, seeing all my heroes, Ada and Leon. I mean, yeah, it is dumb. Don't get me wrong. I am very well aware of what makes a good movie. And, there's lots of elements of this movie that just don't. But there's lots of it there's a lot of the rest of it kind of makes up for it in the dumbest way possible. I look at this as like an old school B movie. Like if I was a kid watching this at late night on TV, I'd fall in love with it. How could I not? Got to have naked woman fucking shooting zombies and shit. I really do. I have to give it a matinee.
The guest of honor here.
I, like Leon, am not a fan of the games. I haven't played any of them. I am a fan of terrible things.
Yeah, you are.
So
you love this.
So I choose to look at it like this. It's like when you're a kid in high school and you have a paper due the next day and you wake up that day and go, shit, I forgot to do that paper. I feel like that's what Anderson did with this movie. Is he woke up and went, shit, I got to make a movie in 2 months. So he just threw a bunch of shit into a tumbler and shook it. And what came out was pretty much everything you'd seen before, new shit from the game, and ripoffs of Aliens and the Dawn of the Dead remake. And he went, yeah, sure, why not? That'll work. And it was a lot of fun for all of its flaws. So I give it a rental.
You let me down.
Did I let you down?
You did.
He gave it the same rating you did.
I was expecting you to convince me to give it some bullshit.
I gotta be honest. I thought he was gonna go some old bullshit too.
You know what, Brian? If you would have stayed for that last 20 minutes of the movie, I guarantee you, your review probably would
I
have
should
ended
have
up as a
abstained
magnet.
from giving a rating
I am
at all.
so close to giving this some bullshit. It has not one fucking original thought in his head. I really don't like this movie. I don't even know I'm trying. I'm giving this. It's almost like
You don't get the change.
I'm giving Paul W.S. Anderson. I'm giving him a pass for almost for being retarded. You know,
Hey, the rest
that's what
of
I'm
the
doing.
world has given him a pass. These movies have made a lot of fucking money, and I still don't get it.
We've given this guy a check for. Oh, well, look at this retarded director right here. Here, go buy yourself something nice. Here's my
The
money.
Special Olympics of directors.
Yeah. You get a gold star.
Oh, you tried. Here's
I'm tired of giving
here's
this
$100 million for trying.
Even now and then, you got to slap the shit out of a retarded person for fucking up so much. But whatever. All right. Whatever.